Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris. Today I'm drinking the 2000 CNNP mark right pour we have on the site. I haven't drank this tea in a while, but honestly, it's pretty good. I forgot how tasty this tea was. As you can see on the video, the tea soup is pretty clear, a marker of a very clean tea. But yeah, so what I want to talk to you about today is drinking these kind of factory pours, and specifically drinking aged factory pours. In the world of pour, everybody wants to drink all these famous factory pours like Monghai and Kunming, and maybe to a lesser extent Xiaguan. Everybody gets so excited when they can come upon something from the 1980s or the 1990s and everybody rushes to post it online. But there's a problem here. The problem here is the problem of authenticity. Now, when we look for these kind of pours, these sort of 30 years or older kind of famous factory pours, we got to ask ourselves, how concerned are we with authenticity? If you're not concerned about whether or not the tea that you're drinking is authentic and only care about the taste and the feel and just the tea itself, then you can disregard everything in this video because it has no bearing on you. But if you're really interested in drinking authentic aged pours, then there are some things that we have to know about the market. Okay? Because drinking authentic aged pours is not something everybody can have access to. Yet, it seems online, and even here in Taiwan and in Asia, there's tons of it. Now, why is that? Well, we gotta understand what kind of pours are floating around here in the market. Well, there's three kinds. There's three kinds of teas that you'll find online, and when you come to places like Taiwan. The first type of tea is authentic factory production teas, meaning the factory itself produced the tea for its own sales to make money, right? So, for example, every year, Monghai Factory, or Dai as they're called now, produces a bunch of teas. And let's use the example of 7542, right? Every year, Monghai Factory or Dai Factory produces a batch, or not just one batch, a couple of batches of 7542 for that specific year. All right, and they do it for their own sales and for their own profit. Right? As a business, they sell tea, so they're making their teas, and every year they come out with a new edition. Okay? Those kind of teas are what is being chased after by these avid tea collectors, or people who are interested in investing money in their teas, right? Authentic factory productions. Tea produced by the actual factory itself for its own sales and profit. Okay? Those in the poor world hold the highest value, especially the extremely old ones, the 90s, the 80s, and beyond, right? You'll see these kind of teas on auction all the time, selling for tens of thousands of Hong Kong dollars. But a problem with these teas is that they're in very low supply and they are very expensive. Especially, more specifically, the older ones. Okay, the newer productions aren't that expensive. You can actually go and find the newer productions are easier to find and a lot more affordable. But we're talking about the old one, 90s and before. Okay. The second type of tea that's out there is private order teas. Now, what is a private order tea? Well, a private order tea is, for example, let's say I want my own personal batch of 7542. I call up the Monghai or Dai factory and I ask them, can you specially make an order of 7542 for me? And obviously, the Dai factory, if it's profitable, they'll make me that order. Okay? So it is coming from the Monghai factory, but the only difference is that it's specifically made for one person. Okay? It's not made as authentic production teas are made for general sales to the public. It is made for one specific person, and what that person does with the tea, it doesn't matter. That's person's business, right? So technically, in this scenario, that person, me, who just ordered a batch of 7542 from the Monghai factory, Dai factory, I can say these are technically Monghai factory 7542s. But because they are made specifically for me, they do not hold as much value as the authentic factory productions. Okay? Just for that one simple fact that these teas are made for a specific person, the value of these private order teas are nowhere near as valuable as the authentic factory production. Okay? Now, the third type of tea you're going to find out there are imitation teas. I think this is the most typical type of tea you'll find out there. So what is an imitation tea? It's kind of obvious, right? It's kind of self-explanatory. A small tea company makes, let's use the example of 7542 again. They make their own replica of the 7542, right? But no one knows their tea company, so if they were to just take this tea and sell it with their own brand, they probably wouldn't sell anything. So what do they do? They go buy authentic 7542 wrappers. And then they wrap their tea with those wrappers. Now, if they don't have access to those wrappers, they will also go print their own wrappers that look almost exactly like an authentic 7542 wrapper. Okay? So these are imitation teas, sometimes wrapped with the original wrappers from actual authentic teas, or they'll go print them out. And then once they got everything done, they go out onto the market and try to pass these teas off as authentic factory productions, but they're not. Okay? So, what does it all come down to? Well, are these teas, meaning the private order or imitation teas, bad? Generally, no. I mean, these teas can be just as good as authentic factory productions. A lot of the teas, most of the teas that I've encountered here that I like or I have on the site are actual, private orders or replicas, right? It doesn't mean they're bad. However, the problem lies in when you go buy these teas, does the vendor specify which type of tea they're selling you? That is the problem. So if you're looking for an authentic experience and you find online someone writing, say, 90s era Monghai Factory 7542. What kind of tea is it? Is it an actual factory production? Is it a private order or is it an imitation? I feel in the tea world, a lot of people aren't very clear about this. They leave it kind of fuzzy and up in the air, and they use vocabulary that maybe makes you tend to believe that they are selling the authentic thing. But you can look at the price and kind of definitely tell that whether or not it's authentic. a couple of $100 will not buy you an authentic factory production. $300, okay? Because if I'm the vendor, at the very least, that price range, that selling price range is not enough to make profit. I'll probably be losing money if I sell it at that price range. So most likely, if you see something in that price range, what you're getting is an imitation or a private order. Now, is it wrong to sell imitations of private order? No. Those teas are perfectly fine. Those teas are great, can be great a lot of the times. But if your vendor doesn't specify what it is, then there's a little problem, in my opinion. When I go to buy teas, I want to make sure I'm getting what I'm asking for. If I ask for an authentic 7542, I want to receive an authentic 7542. I don't want to receive a private order, and I don't want to receive an imitation. Doesn't matter how it tastes. You're selling something that supposedly is authentic, then you better give me something when I give you the money that is authentic. But that's the problem. A lot of people who drink Puerh are fairly new, and they can't recognize the difference. Okay? Even people who've been drinking Puerh for a long time, it's very hard to recognize the difference. Okay? So that's what we got to be wary of when we're entering into this world of factory Puerhs. There are a lot of imitations out there. There are a lot of private orders. And your goal, or not your goal, but you have to ask yourself, what do you want in this market? If you just care about taste, then go for it. Go buy any, there's a lot of nice tasting Puerhs out there. But if you're out for authentic factory productions, then you got to be wary, because you have to know that those kind of teas are very hard to come by. And as vendors, and as a vendor who also has tried to source these kind of Puerhs here in Taiwan, I can tell you that buying those teas doesn't make for good business, because they're just too expensive, and the market isn't going to pay the price that you need to put on the tea to make a profit So, but what is more profitable is to buy private order or imitation teas, okay? Because they're just so much cheaper, and they're basically the same, almost the same, if you find a good one, all right? Obviously, there are tons of bad ones out there, but if you find a good one, it's very hard to tell the difference, okay? So, yeah, so that's what I've been, thinking about a lot of these days, because I was just, looking for Puerh, and I was just like going from shop to shop and seeing what they have, and some people telling me they have this, they have that, and some other vendors are more straightforward and more honest, and they say, yeah, these are just replicas, or these are just private order teas. So be wary, do your homework, and drink more than you buy. That's what everybody says here. So yeah, so that's all I want to say about the topic for right now. If you like this content, just give a like and a subscribe. If you feel the need to write something on the bottom, do so in the comments. Try to keep it civilized, and yeah, I'll talk to you next time.